St. Hilda's East is a vibrant, all-purpose community center that caters to different sections of the local community. They serve people of all ages and offer a wide program of activities. These include advice services, youth projects, support for parents and preschool children, work with older people, women's projects, volunteering placement, and carers' respite. Operating across two sites, the organization provides a resource for the community in the Weavers Ward in Northwest Tower Hamlets, while delivering borough-wide social care and other services. In 19th century Britain, the Industrial Revolution brought terrible urban poverty to the East End of London. People lived in overcrowded, badly built housing and worked 18 hours a day. In response to this, places like St. Hilda's were built in areas of poverty and brought people from good backgrounds to live and work there. St. Hilda's was founded by former pupils of Cheltenham Ladies' College and is still actively linked to it and its guild today. St. Hilda's offers several projects and services to be involved in. They range from advice, training, and resource programs to services for children and young people, and projects for older people and care, as well as women's groups. Daytime Advice Service is just one example of a program that provides general service, including housing, benefits, and debt, and carries out home visits to housebound people in the Bethnal Green area by arrangement. Legal Advice Service is another group staffed by pro bono volunteers from city law firms who offer evening sessions. Youth Project is a project that provides a wide range of educational and recreational activities for young people aged 11 to 19 years old. Activities include workshops, discussions, CV and job preparation, sports, and school holiday projects. A project called the Under Fives provides a free group for children aged 0 to 5 whose parents attend other activities in St. Hilda's and a weekly parent and child play session. In partnership with Mallam Children's Center, St. Hilda's also hosts soft play and family learning opportunities for young people. The Older People's Project provides social support and activities for people over 60 living in the local area. The Lunch Club Plus service offers activities such as Keep Fit sessions, computer club, arts and crafts outings, and parties. Accessible transport to the center can be arranged for housebound and less mobile users. The project also supports an independent pensioners action group. The Sonali Gardens Day Center provides culturally appropriate daycare for Bangladeshi and other older people. The daycare service is open 7 days a week with stimulating activities on offer. Inspire is another project that supports Bangladeshi women who are socially isolated and experience mental health issues through group sessions. Boundary Women's Group encourages local women to realize their potential, such as those experiencing social exclusion and minority ethnic women facing language barriers. Regular activities range from ESOL, English language classes, Keep Fit sessions, IT sessions, and a women's forum discussion group. There is also an outreach service and one-to-one support. These are just some of the many projects and activities offered at St. Hilda's. St. Hilda's impacts several social issues ranging from deprivation to social exclusion to family care and elder care. People of all ages and from all walks of life in the local community are impacted, namely immigrant families, elder people, families with younger children, people from poor backgrounds or poverty situations. In the last Poverty and Social Exclusion Survey in 1999, the indicators of the extent of social relations and an ability to participate in society that had been covered in the Breadline Britain surveys were extended to widen the investigation. Levels of social participation were found to be affected by age, gender, household type, and employment status, as well as poverty. Of all those variables, poverty had the strongest negative effect on social relationships. St. Hilda's aims to combat the challenges arising from deprivation and social exclusion in the local community through a range of high-quality social, healthy living, educational, and recreational programs. They believe that their strength lies in diversity, meeting the needs of local people, and supporting their aspirations. They also aim to promote understanding between all sections of the local community, offering a setting for multicultural, intergenerational, and interfaith exchange. In all they do, they strive to break down barriers and reduce isolation, enabling access to learning, training, and opportunities, empowering people to reach their goals. As an intern, I hope to be able to actively participate in as many of the projects offered as possible, as well as to interact and engage in discussion with the people I will be serving. I hope to come out of the internship with new knowledge and empathy of the lives of the local community, as well as an enriched understanding of the way everyone interacts and communicates with each other in this small microcosm in East London. The National Strategy for Neighbourhood Renewal is one of the social policies put in place by the UK to combat social exclusion. Its headline targets are to improve outcomes on worklessness, crime, health, skills, and housing, and the physical environment, delivering on national and local targets, and to narrow the gap between the poorest neighbourhoods and the rest of the country. Another policy set in place by the government is to set floor targets for outcomes in deprived areas, with universal minimum standards for every area on tackling crime, improving health, education, and employment. The targets will focus efforts on the areas that need help the most and ensure that pockets of deprivation are no longer masked by national averages. Floor targets include jobs, to increase employment rates in local authority districts with the poorest initial labor market conditions. Crime, to reduce domestic burglary by 25%, with no area having a rate more than 3 times the national average by 2005. Housing, reduced by 33% the number of households living in non-decent social housing, with most improvement in the most deprived local authority areas as part of a comprehensive regeneration strategy by 2004. In the 1970s, a series of policy changes began to address the issues of individuals with disabilities and their right to education, housing, employment, and access. This was the United States' take on a policy to combat social exclusion, deprivation, and poverty. These policies were developed at a national level and were delivered to states and communities where they were implemented through the input of a federal agency, sometimes through a state equivalent of that agency. The rules for these programs came from federal legislation and regulation with little opportunity for communities to provide input about the usefulness, the potential negative impacts, and the appropriateness of these programs and policies for their citizens. These policies and programs generally focused on only one problem: the lack of affordable housing, rather than taking a coordinated approach to the context of poverty or exclusion due to disability. As a result, over 30 years later, we still find extensive evidence of children and youth in situations that lead to long-term social exclusion and indicators of many health, education, and other social outcomes that reflect that continued exclusion for children and youth who live in poverty and children and youth with disabilities.